What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have the boat back here because we're about to go fish on the river in hopes of finding a big wintertime bass. And thankfully today's video is sponsored by Deep Dive, and they are going to help us find the fish today. So if you guys have never heard of Deep Dive, it is an app that you can download onto your phone, and it has everything that you need to know about fishing at your fingertips. One of my personal favorite features is the top baits tool, which basically shows you what baits in your areas are getting bites, what colors to throw, and where to throw them. So I went ahead, looked at our top baits for the day, and I have all of them tied up. So we should be able to put some of these lures to use today and catch some fish. But another feature I'm going to be using a lot today is the wind effects map, which is actually super cool because it shows you where the wind is blowing in real time. So it shows you how fast it's blowing, what direction it's blowing, and it even shows you where the waves are crashing on the bank. And that can be really good, especially whenever you're throwing specific lures for the wind. So Deep Dive has a ton of features. If you're struggling to catch some fish, there's tons of information on there that will help you find them. And today we're going to be putting it to the use out on the boat, out on the river, and we're going to see if we can't maybe find some big bass or just catch some bass in general, because this time of the year can be tough, but with Deep Dive's help, we're going to find some fish. So if you guys want to check it out, it'll be linked down below in the description. Let's go ahead, let's drop the boat in the water, and let's go cast a line. All right, so we have made it to the first spot of the day. This is just a nice little area on the river. We got some current going through, and I'm gonna start off with the spinnerbait right here. This is my favorite lure this time of the year and all times of the year on the river. They just love this thing, and with this moving water, it is gonna be perfect to throw because it's gonna move those blades, it's gonna be flashy, it's gonna vibrate, it's really gonna attract those fish in, and we're hopefully gonna get ourselves some bites. So let's get the cast in here and see if we can't maybe find us some feeding fish. There's one. We're hooked up. That's a good one. Oh my God, it's a giant. That is a giant. Oh my God, I don't have the net ready. Holy crap, that's a big one. That is a big fish. Oh my God. That's a giant. That's a giant. That's a giant. Stay down, buddy. Stay down. No, don't shake. Don't shake. Don't shake. That is a giant. Oh my God. Where's the net? I don't even care if the net's not fully together. No, don't jump. No, don't do that. Don't do that. He's in the net. It's not together, but he's in the net. Yes! Yes! Oh my God, it's a monster. Holy crap, we're about to crash into a tree. Oh my God. Oh my God. That did not just happen. That did not just happen. Oh my God. Holy crap. Oh my God. Whew. No way. No way. Oh my God. That's insane. Look at the spinnerbait. He crushed it. Oh my God, look at this fish. Woo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo-hoo. Well, I definitely was not expecting that. That was a shock. That was a little bit of a surprise. I think I made like 3-4 casts, and that fish just destroyed my spinnerbait. And I honestly thought I was stuck on a tree for a second. It didn't really fight until it got out in the current. But when it did fight, I was like, that's a big one. And then I saw him, and he was a big one. Didn't have the net ready. Didn't even get the net ready, and just swung him in because I was scared of losing him. But we have landed him, got him back there in the live well. I'm gonna kind of fish this stretch and keep him in there for a little bit because I want to weigh him. I want to fully appreciate him because that was a crazy catch. And I also want to fish this bank line while the current is still running because it obviously seems like they're here. And if we caught one, there could potentially be more. So I'm gonna make a few more casts and hopefully find some more fish, maybe some more big ones, because this could be a crazy day. Okay, let's put the net together in case something else crazy happens. We need to have this thing ready to go. Just casting up there on those slack water spots when the current's running through, and that was such a weird bite. I honestly thought it had a tree because it was so weird feeling. Oh my God, that's insane. Whew. All right, let's keep it going, shall we? Dang, I cannot believe that just happened. I casted right up there, up towards the bank in that slack water, and when I kind of got in the middle of the slack and the current, I just felt dead weight. When I set the hook, it didn't really take off instantly. And then when it started moving, I was like, uh-oh, that's a big one. Whew. Heck yeah. That is crazy. What a way to start the day. Well, that right there is also a sign that this is definitely a top bait. I mean, whenever you have confidence throwing a lure and you catch one like that quick and that size, oh man, you just know this thing's gonna work all day long. Maybe that's gonna be a good sign. Good sign, the day is gonna be good. See, usually I don't like fishing the current, mainly because this trolling motor just cannot keep up. But today, we're super far down river, and I mean, it's not wide open. So it's just a nice, slow flow. I can keep up with it just enough. And that's really when these fish like to feed, is whenever they can kind of sit in a spot that's slack water so they don't have to do much. And then the current's kind of flowing by, and it just brings that bait, and they just kind of go in and out of the pockets. And that's exactly what that big one was doing. He was sitting up there, and as soon as my lure came out of that slack water into the current and kind of gotten swept, he was on it. Yes, yes, dude, I'm so hyped. My only problem here is I might not have a scale, because I think I put it in my kayak and forgot about it. I have this, but I think it's waterlogged, or the batteries are bad, so let's see. Let's change the batteries, see if it works. Banging on it probably didn't just help it any. Let's see if changing the batteries out of this will help. Don't have high hopes. Oh my God, it actually turned on. Wow, that's crazy. This thing has been so waterlogged, it's actually insane that it still works. Well, right here we have our first fish of the day. An absolute beaut. I mean, look at this guy. 5-pounder to start the morning off. Gorgeous too. I mean, look at the colors on this fish. Super healthy, super fat and feeding up, and absolutely crushed my spinnerbait. And this is a great way to start off a fishing trip, because we now know what they're eating, where they're at, and that there's some big ones active today in the cold. And there's something about this cold weather on the river that gets these big fish fired up. But I'm super excited to keep fishing today in hopes of catching one bigger than this, or maybe adding on to this one. But this is a beautiful fish to start the day off. Super excited. Let's get it back. And that right there is why the spinnerbait is the perfect top bait to throw today, because not only is this the top bait, but it just continues to produce for me out here on the river. I've been throwing this thing a lot in all different seasons. I threw it in the summer, I threw it in the fall, and now we're throwing it in the winter. It was pretty cold this morning. Now it's starting to warm up. We have weird winter time here in the south, but this bait right here is perfect for this water clarity. It's a little muddy, and that's usually how the river always is. So I usually take that white and chartreuse color, and it gets the job done. But you have a gold blade and a silver blade, and this thing flashes. It puts off that vibration, and it looks like a little shad. And that is exactly what these fish are feeding on, especially today whenever the current is moving, because it's just pushing those shad, pushing them up against stuff. The fish will sit in the pockets, they come out, they eat the shad, and boom, we throw the spinnerbait in there, and we recreate that. And I'm probably gonna throw this 90% of the day. We have a lot of top baits tied up, but I'm definitely most confident in this one right here. So we're gonna get back to it, hope for another one, hope for another big one, and we're gonna see what happens. But I love this place. Alrighty, let's see if there's any fish hanging around over here. It looks like the current has fully stopped, so now we have some slack water to fish. We still have a good amount of wind, which is perfect for the spinnerbait. Now we just gotta hope that the fish are still hungry. Oh, we're on. That's a good one. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come on. Get up here in the boat. Come here. Come here. It's not a bad fish. It's not a bad fish at all. Come here. No, he just popped off. Oh, dude. Gave him too much time. Dang it. That's just the price you pay when you catch a 5-pounder within the first 3 casts. Everything else just gonna go out the window. All right, I'm not really feeling the spot anymore. Well, after losing that second fish, I've had no action. So I think we're gonna make a spot change here and hopefully go find them because they're not here. So I'm gonna rip to a confidence area and we're gonna see if maybe they're around there, but we gotta put some more fish on the board. All right, let's see what we can do over here. Hopefully there's some fish. This will continue with the spinnerbait here. Let's see what we can do. I have a better feeling about this area anyways. Go straight to the tree. Oh, wow, that came in hot. That's what the frustration of catching 18 trees today does to you. Wow. Oh, I went in the tree, I got bit, set the hook, and it broke me clean off. Wow. Wow. I'm telling you guys, ever since we caught that 5-pounder, our luck has just turned for the worse. Wow. Woo! Yikes. Well, I at least like this color, the all white. God, I can't believe that just happened. Wow. $13 spinnerbait down the drain as well. Love that. Alrighty then. That's unfortunate. But on to the next, I guess. There's one. We're hooked up. Stay on, buddy. Stay on. Stay on. Get up here. He's in the boat. Oh my God. That feels so good. It has literally been, I don't even know how many hours, but I literally have not put a fish in the boat since that first one. Wow. Well, that was a relief. Look at that. It just literally popped off too. Spinnerbait up there on the rocks. We got a little bit of wind and he smoked it. That feels good. Maybe there's gonna be more here. That's at least what I'm hoping. He's not the biggest fish. He's not a 5-pounder, but honestly, at this point, it's been so long, I think I'd take anything. So I'm appreciative of this little guy right here. Thanks, bud. See you. Well, I've been fishing all the good stuff. I'm doing everything right. I'm making good casts. I mean, everything is just, it's perfect until you find out that there's not fish there. And I think that's just because of the current. It's just kind of pushed them around and, you know, they're just kind of spread out. But we're finally putting something together here, hopefully. And maybe there's gonna be more. Fish. Potentially. That is a fish. Oh, that is a fish. We actually have a fish. Oh yeah. That was a weird bite. Oh, come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. That's a good one. He's not horrible. He's not the 5-pounder we caught earlier, but that is another fish. Let's see if I can put him in the net. Oh, he's not wanting to cooperate. There we go. There we go. We got one on the jig. Well, I decided to pick up a different lure here. We got the old finesse jig. And I came over to this other side of the bank just to see if anything was over here. And I thought I had a few bites, but I wasn't sure. And then I felt this guy pick it up. I also wasn't sure. And then I just kept feeling that weight. Finally set the hook and boom, there we go. Nice largie on the old finesse jig with the little rattler on the back. Well, it definitely seems the fish are still active. They're still biting. You just have to find them. Once that current settled, everything settles and they're just moving around constantly. So I'm glad we got another one. And we now know that they're biting another lure, which was a top bait, which was the jig, which is a great lure for this time of the year. Thank you so much. Nice little largie. See ya. We'll keep the net close just in case. That is my first ever river fish on this spinning setup. Isn't that funny? Heck yeah. That was a nice little bite too. That was a fun one. Well, we're currently trolling over to some rock, and if you guys know anything about winter fishing, rock is just a hot spot, literally. It's wrapped around that one too? Are you kidding me? I really just find new ways to do cool stuff. Look at that. That might actually be bass right there. Oh, I have a fish. We're hooked up. We're hooked up. We got one. Come here, buddy. He's a very little guy, but we got a fish. That's funny. I really didn't even feel him bite. Well, the finesse jig can get it done when the bite is slow. Now, you may catch fish like this. You can catch big fish with this thing, but it is a fish catching machine, and that is all that matters. So thank you, buddy. Whoop. See you, little guy. Well, that wasn't terrible. I'm glad our spot change was not a complete waste of time, but I do think we're going to pick up and run here and try and keep throwing the same techniques we have been in maybe different areas and see if we have any better results. All right, well, we have fished for a long time today. The trolling motor battery is at 38%, and that will tell you a lot because I have been running that thing nonstop. I've been casting nonstop. The only breaks I have taken was to drive to the next spot. So I've had my head down all day long trying to catch as many fish as possible. Start off the day with a 5-pounder. That's always what you want to start off with. You know, it's great. Kind of went downhill from there. We didn't have much luck. We lost a fish in the boat. Then it really went downhill, and it was just very slow. It was honestly kind of frustrating for me. And like I said earlier, you know, you catch a 5-pounder and you'd be excited. Me, I want more. So it took me a little bit. I found a few more, and now we are a little bit downriver, closer to the boat ramp. And I think I'm just going to kind of cruise my way back on the trolling motor, make some casts, and hope for a buzzard beater big fish. And I think that's the plan. So let's go ahead. Let's rip a few more casts, and let's see if it happens. All right, let's see what we can do. And just like that, we are back at the boat ramp. It was a long day. I fished a long time, and I really just put my head down and fished. I mean, I didn't really take any breaks. I didn't eat lunch. I didn't do anything except drive the boat and fish, and it paid off. We started off the day with a 5-pounder, which was great. I do wish I would have got out a little bit earlier and got to fish that full current, but you know, kind of missed my alarm. But you know, it's no big deal. We still got out here and caught a 5-pounder, and for a lot of people, that is a fish that you're like, dang, like I'm satisfied with that. And I was, but I also wanted more. And although it went downhill after that, when that current turned off, it got a little tough, but we ended up catching a few more to add on to that fish, which was really good. But we got it done with all of our top baits, which were the spinner bait, the little jig. I think that's what we call all of our fish on today. And they were on the top baits list for deep dive. I mean, look at that, spinner bait, jig, little mini jig. They got the job done, caught us some fish. We caught a 5-pounder and a few more to go on with it. And it was a fun time out here on the water. It's always nice to get out here and learn something every single time, and that is exactly what I try and do. And deep dive also makes it super easy to figure out what the fish are doing, and also allow me to figure out some new tips and tricks. So if you guys want to check out deep dive for yourself, they will help you catch more fish. It will be linked down below in the description. But I'm about to get out of here. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and a comment. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.